Hi, everyone. Ernie Anastas here. I want to take a moment to talk to you about something truly special. Shriners Children's. For more than 100 years, they have helped over 1.5 million kids with complex medical issues receive the most amazing care anywhere. Now here's Keshi's journey with Shriners Children's.
Shriners Hospitals for Children gave me back my mobility in every way. I got here in a wheelchair, and 2 years into my treatment, I was ready to go back to school and finish high school.
For the first time, Kechi was able to look up. And we take these things for granted, but he gave her hope. He gave her life back.
Once they realized how much I love music, it became a part of my healing. It became a part of my therapy.
I'm calling on 77 WABC's audience to help provide hope and healing by donating to Shriners Children's. Call 1-800-276-8007. That's 1-800-276-8007. Or go online to loveshriners.org to give.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
I wanted to talk to Mike Lawler because every time I see New York One pop up, that horrible channel, that communist, liberal, degenerate channel, I see Lawler on there. But he's always talking about congestion pricing, and I saw that just this morning. So here he is, the king of Rockland County, the great congressman, fresh off his own win, a big win, thank God, Mike Lawler. Michael, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Sid. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, last week I had Gaby and Danielle in studio, and we held our third annual radiothon for the Dyspraxia DCD America Foundation. And anytime we do something with that foundation, I'm compelled, Mike, to thank you and even your buddy over there in New Jersey, Josh Gottheimer, thanking both of you for the bipartisan bill that you guys put together to make, dyspraxia, more awareness for dyspraxia, and B, also to make sure that people can get insurance if, in fact, they're diagnosed with dyspraxia, like my son Gabriel. So fresh off of our radiothon, and we also had this huge, hundreds of people showed up at Hofstra University on Tuesday morning, thanks to Bob Gluck, a big conference for dyspraxia. All those things going on, Mike Lawler, I just want to thank you.
It's my pleasure, Sid. And with President Trump coming into office next year, I'm hopeful we can get this across the finish line. I know he will be very focused on it, as well as something that we want to get done. So we'll push, and obviously in the interim, it was my honor to work with Danielle on this and get it introduced, and we'll keep fighting for Gabriel and all those who suffer from dyspraxia.
You're the best. Mike Lawler right here, folks. Thank you for that. Let's get to congestion pricing. January 5th is coming. It's coming very, very fast. And right now, this idiot governor, this repulsive governor who wants us to congratulate her on a 40% discount from 15 to 9, even though it goes from 0 to 9. She thinks we're stupid. This is about to go into play in less than a month. Where are we? We can't stop this? What's going on?
Look, we are going to fight tooth and nail to get this done. Obviously, so long as Joe Biden is in office, this is moving ahead. He authorized it. He gave the green light to Kathy Hochul, the most feckless, inept governor in America, to move forward with this. I mean, imagine this, Sid. New York State is spending billions of dollars of taxpayer money to provide free housing, clothing, health care, education, and food to illegal immigrants. And meanwhile, Kathy Hochul is charging the average New Yorker $2,500 just for the privilege to drive to work. If that doesn't epitomize why New York State is in such dire straits, I don't know what would.
Yeah.
This is why we lead the nation in outmigration, because of idiotic policies like this. This has nothing to do with reducing congestion. It has nothing to do with the environment. It is a scam. It is nothing more than a money grab by ridiculously stupid politicians who have mismanaged New York State's budget, who have mismanaged the MTA for decades. The MTA is the worst-run authority in America. It needs an enema. And the fact is that Albany has been so disastrously run. They have increased state spending by $61 billion in 4 years. And they're saying they can't find the money to fund the MTA. They need to charge hardworking New Yorkers. Here's an idea. Stop spending billions of dollars on illegal immigrants. End your disastrous sanctuary city policies and sanctuary state policies and the right to shelter, and start taking care of New Yorkers who are footing the bill for your freaking salaries, you jackasses.
Look at you. You come on this show, you curse. This is not the Mike Lawler I see on CNN and Fox News. I love it. And you're right about all that. You're forgetting one major thing. So yesterday, I get on the train, like I do every day, Mike, on 51st Street and Lex to go down to 42nd to take the train to Wall Street. Would you believe me when I tell you that I got kicked? It was a very light kick. I wasn't injured, but I got kicked on the side of my face because some little bastard jumped the turnstile, and I was walking in with my Metro card that I spend, by the way, $135 a month on. I'm the real idiot. I spend that money. This kid kicked me in the side of the head. Didn't even say he's sorry, but another example of a fare beater. Imagine if everybody paid in this city.
Listen, the fare beaters are treated like the illegal immigrants. If you cross the border, you're treated better than if you go through the legal immigration system in this country. If you cross the border illegally, you get benefits in the United States. In New York, New York is spending billions of dollars. Meanwhile, if you jump the turnstile, you get to ride the subway for free. But if you're the dumb schmuck who has to drive in from Rockland County, guess what? We're going to charge you $2,500 just for the privilege to drive into work. This is what is fundamentally wrong in New York, and it has to stop. It has to stop, and the only way to do it is to get rid of Kathy Hochul in 2026.
Right. Well, we'll get to that. What are your thoughts on this? If you have any thoughts, maybe you don't. The City of Yes housing project that was approved by the city council yesterday. The governor loves it. Mayor Eric Adams is walking around like he just cured cancer. What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, by the way, the reason that the city council moved forward with it is because Kathy Hochul said, I have $1 billion for you. So magically, she found $1 billion for the City of Yes, but she can't find $1 billion for the MTA.
Interesting.
Again, this is the challenge. Look, we have a housing crisis in this country. We are 6.5 million units underbuilt. I introduced legislation just before the election on housing, a 209-page bill that has 38 provisions. From a federal level, what we can do to help incentivize housing, inclusive of lifting the cap on SALT, because people cannot afford to purchase a home. But there's no question we have a supply issue. If you look at, in my district, we pay among the highest property taxes in America, and yet we're not building enough supply, and so the housing prices keep skyrocketing. The average home value in Westchester County, for instance, increased from $700,000 to $1.1 million over the last 4 years.
Jeez.
So people can't afford to buy a home, let alone maintain one. Mortgage rates are at a 30-year high. You look at the challenges people are dealing with from the cost of living standpoint. It's a crisis. So we do need more housing. What works in New York City is not going to work in Rockland and Westchester and Putnam counties. And so you can't have a one-size-fits-all approach. I don't have a problem with city officials trying to come up with a housing plan that helps incentivize more housing. But it has to be market-based. And part of the challenge in New York City is some of the rent control laws. And I'll give you a case in point. the draconian rent control laws that were put in place by Albany in 2019 created a real crisis. 50,000 vacant units in New York City as a result, because you put this arbitrary cap on what people can charge, yet you require the landlord to bring the apartment up to code, and it costs more to bring up to code than what they can charge in rent. And so they're losing money on the property. And so what do? They take the tax write-off and they leave the apartment vacant. So you have 50,000 vacant units.
Yeah.
So we have to have a comprehensive approach to housing. It cannot be a one-size-fits-all, and it cannot be mandated by Albany as to what to do. You have to help incentivize, which means you need to invest in infrastructure. You need to work with developers to build. They do need tax incentives. You look at other parts of the country right now. Look at Florida. I mean, they're building and building and building at massive levels. Now, part of it is the demand. You have people moving to Florida. New York, we're losing population. We are not growing at the same rate. We lead the nation in outmigration. So cost is a big factor here. We have to look at different ways to incentivize the development of housing. I'm not reflexively opposed to what New York City is trying to do, but there has to be a smart approach to this, and it has to be market-based. It cannot be government subsidized at every level.
Stay out of my neighborhood is all I'm saying, okay? I don't want it. One more for you. I know you listen every day, and Curtis, he's keeps busting my chops, wants me to run for office. Ain't going to happen. Danielle's going to kill me, although Curtis promised to sit down with Danielle and try to convince her, but I'm not sure he's kidding. I don't know, but he thinks I'm the one person that can actually beat Chuck Schumer. We're both Jewish. I'm a real Jew. He's a crappy Jew. I certainly have a big, loving audience here in New York. He wants me to run. And he, of course, he made me aware this morning that sitting on Chuck Schumer's desk, along with H.R. 2, which was the best border security bill ever written, is the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, talking about him being a crappy Jew, which last I checked was written by you. Isn't that right?
Yep. Irish, Italian, Catholic Mike Lawler fighting harder for the Jewish people than Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
It is an absolute shanda, a disgrace. Chuck Schumer, the highest-ranking Jewish official in American history, refusing to pass the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, refusing to pass the IGO Anti-Boycott Act, refusing to pass legislation sanctioning the ICC. Chuck Schumer has the chutzpah to write a book about combating anti-Semitism. He's going to publish it at the beginning of next year. Okay, and he's going to have a lot more time since he's going into the minority because he's been such a disastrous leader of the United States Senate that he got bounced as majority leader in this election. But the fact is, he is sitting on the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. He refused to bring it to a vote because, quote, unquote, he didn't want to divide his conference.
Aye.
And he told Jewish leaders across New York, I don't like Mike Lawler. I don't want to give him the bill, and I can't divide my conference. It's disgraceful. Grow a pair. Show up. Be a leader. Stand up. It's absolutely shameful as Jewish students across America are under siege that Chuck Schumer can't muster the courage and the strength to stand up and pass this bill and tell Bernie Sanders and all the anti-Semites in the United States Senate, go pound sand. We're moving ahead with this bill.
Maybe I should run. Talking about crappy Jews, I heard one more got bounced. Jerry Nadler, huh? Out?
Hello, Jerry. Jerry Nadler, another person who refused to support the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, despite, by the way, 5 years ago being an original co-lead on a very similar bill. He gets up there earlier this year, debating me on it and saying, oh, this violates free speech. And I can't support the idea that, being an anti-Zionist is anti-Semitic. And meanwhile, the only thing that really changed in the version of the bill that he co-led versus the version of the bill that I introduced is the politics. So I don't feel bad 1 ounce that Jerry Nadler got bounced by his own party.
Love it.
With respect to leading the Judiciary Committee.
Love it.
It's just desserts.
It is. And by the way, let me remind everybody that both of these idiots, Chuck Schumer and Jerry Nadler, both Jewish men that won't sign an anti-Semitism act, they were very quick to sign the Iran deal years ago.
And refused to go to Columbia University at the height of the protest. And in fact,
that's right.
As we learned, Chuck Schumer told the leadership of Columbia, "Oh, keep your head down. Don't worry. This is just Republicans making a problem."
That's true. He did do that. He actually stabbed the Jews in the back. The mayor never went either, but I remember one Monday morning, happened to be the first day of Passover, where I was standing across the street from the university, me, Anthony D'Esposito, Bruce Blakeman, Michael Rappaport, and yes, you, Mike Lawler.
No question, and I will always stand up for the Jewish community no matter what.
We love you, buddy. Thank you for everything. You're a great, great congressman, a terrific man, a father for the second time recently. You're helping out my family. I can't say enough nice things about you. Mike Lawler, thank you so much, pal.
Thanks, Sid. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Mike Lawler, the congressman right there, the king of Rockland County.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.